Hello there. We are live. Let me stop my countdown timer. Welcome. This is Bernaid Flanoy. This is what we're painting today. I hope you have your download ready, your crayons, your colored pencils, whatever it is that you want to create with. I will be using craft acrylic paint today, and we're ready to get started. Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the replay viewers. Enjoy the painting tutorial. Okay. I'm just going to blow this up just a little bit, just a little bit bigger right there. And I think we should be good. Okay. I'm going to squeeze this in a little bit. There we go. And I think we're ready to rock and roll. There we are. Let me get all of the, there we go. There's Bob, in case you were wondering. He's always here in the studio, Mr. Bob Ross. You know that's who we grew up with PBS. So this is, let me see if I can flip this out here. Let me stop that for just a second. So this is what we painted the other day. Well, of course, it would be nice if you could see it. There we go. This is what we painted the other day with Ronita Nance, and that was very exciting to work on the stacked heart design. And of course, this is on canvas. What a lovely time. Lovely lady, talented, and yeah, we're going to paint again. That was so much fun. All right. So this is the design that we're working on today. All right. All right. Let me see if I can put them back on. What else do I have? Oh, that's another. You know what? I may keep that one right there. All right. So I think we're good. I have my paints and my brushes ready. And like I said, this is some craft acrylic paint. If you have watercolor paint, that'll work as well. Dollar Tree has their version. And, you can get Prang or Crayola, whatever it is that you are comfortable with using. Now, I'm trying to think. Is it Saturday? Is it this Saturday? Oh, my goodness. The time is passing so quickly. I'm going to add what I'll be painting next. Okay. Ow. That's what I'll be working on next. All right. And can you believe Mardi Gras is so close to being here? February is getting on out of here. So you can get that download. I will have that on the site soon. But yeah, this is what we have going on. Am I doing that Saturday? I have to look at my schedule again. Okay. Don't quote me on it. Yeah, it'll be this Saturday, I do believe. All right. So let me make a quick adjustment here. Let me tighten this up. And I think we should be good. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Yes, I think we're ready to rock and roll now. Should I put another? Let me see if I should put another canvas up underneath here just to get this a little bit closer. How about this? Just to make it a little bit closer to the camera. And I think we're good. All right. Oh, I forget you're looking directly at me. We're going to aim you down. All right. I'm going to bring you in a little closer here. And then angle you straight down. I want to double check and make sure that we are good inside of Facebook. Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know what that was, but there we go. That's down now. All right. So I did post, I did post inside of the Facebook group. And let me just make sure it's in my group. I think I did that as well. But just to make sure all the bases are covered, let's see here. Are we doing this here? All right. Yeah, I think we're good. I think I have the live notification. Yep. That's what I really wanted to make sure. All right, let's get going. Let me double check one other place. And let's see. Okay, let me make sure this is posted live over here. Okay. All right, Command V, and here we go. All right, so I like to cover all the bases. And now we're going to proceed. Okay, so that is our reference. I really wish that I had more control over the reference shot. Let's see if we that's a little bit better. Okay, that's a little better. Let's see if we can go ahead and angle you on down, and let's get down to it. I guess it would be helpful if I introduced myself. My name is Bernade Flournoy. I'm an art teacher, and I want to say in 2015 got started doing paint parties. OMG, I'm in here making mess live on camera. And I fell in love with them. I was so terrified at first because I'm used to teaching children. But now, you know, I love working with everyone. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. All right. Honey, I have made a huge mess, but you know, we're only live, so we're going to keep going. Okay, I'm just going to go back to this view. I like this view right here. All right. So now let's go ahead and get on down to it. We're going to get started in the background a little bit. I kind of go back and forth. People always ask which one is the best way to go. It just depends on what you're comfortable with. Okay. But I would suggest getting started in the background. Oh, let me clear up some of this acrylic paint, you guys. Let me drop that in there. Okay. Make sure I don't have any on my hands. So I am going to just, I don't know, the canvas board is a little bit different. So I'm just going to add just a little bit of water back there. Not a lot because we don't want it to be drenched. And I'm going to go ahead back here with a little bit of white paint. Just kind of dab that around. Because I'm going to add some magenta or fuchsia. This is a little bit darker than maybe bubblegum pink. Let me get a little bit more on this brush. All right. And I'm just rubbing this all around up in here to go ahead and get this background covered. I need a little bit more of this paint. All right. So we move along pretty quickly, especially in the background. Unless it's something that you really need to be especially careful with, don't mess around with that. Just go ahead and get rid of the white. That's the whole point with starting that, starting in the background. But sometimes it's nice to paint the subject first and then get to the background. But you know, as you paint, okay, this is for the beginners. As you paint, you'll find that sometimes painting the background first works, and then sometimes painting the subject first works. But you'll see in a little bit, I'll be going back and forth a little bit. All right, so we're cutting that in there pretty good. Oh boy. Like I said, we are in here making a tad bit of a mess. Okay, so we're going to get that background done really quickly. Cool. And like I said, I don't know what you're working with. I don't know if you have the download and you traced it onto a canvas, or if you're just using the download straight. This brush is a little bit big for this area right here. I'm just going to go ahead and cover this with some straight white right here. Okay. All right. And then we're going to get just a little bit more pink. So I'm going to use this brush just a moment more, because I like to use a larger brush, and then that way, you know, you're not being too cutesy with everything. Now, when you received your download, you should have received some instructions. You know, hopefully you read over those just a little bit, you know, but sometimes you just go for it, you know. All right, here we go. So I'm going to go in for this smaller size right now, wetting it just a little bit, getting a little bit of white paint up here. Going to go in and get a little more magenta. And now I'm just going to cut up in here. Hello there. You know what? I need to make sure I pull up my comment section just in case anybody is saying anything. But in all honesty, sometimes I'm going to put like a Command V and enter. Let me see if I make that first comment, see if that will help. Okay. So let me go on in here, get on down to it. So we're just eliminating all of the white in the background, and then we can, if need be, we can revisit it. But I think this is cool. I think this is just enough back there. And let me make sure that I go back and forth to add it. All right. So that's what we're back there doing. Okay. All right. I'm just going to go right along this edge right over here, and I'm going to grab a little bit more magenta. So the background is relatively light, not too light. I think mine might be a little bit darker than what's on the reference image, but that's okay too, you know. Let me get just a little water because I don't want to mess around in this area too long. All right. So we are going right along. Okay. So this is going along pretty quickly. I'm going to get just a little bit more of this. Now, you may want to do a second coat, but it depends on what you're comfortable with. All right, I think we're cool back here, and we're going to keep on going. Let's see here. Next step, let me show you the okay. How about let's go on in here with that with that red. That's going to pop it out really, really fast. Okay. Now you might want to start off with the lighter color. You may be more comfortable with getting the lighter color on there, and that's fine. And I may not mess around with it too much. Let me clean up my brush. I like to just dip it a little bit in the water, just to soak it up, soak the water up in the bristles, and just wipe the majority of the paint out on my napkin, so that keeps my water nice and clear for the most part. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get on down to it. All right, let me make sure I get the right stripe. Let me go back. Let's get this correct stripe here. All right, so right here next to the little, what do you call it? The end of the hat right here. So that's going to be red. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to just make sure I know where the red is going to be on all of that. Okay. And then the little hearts here are red. So let's go ahead, since I have this little corner right here. Now I just went outside of the line there. And it happens. But it's not too bad. If it was really, really bad, I'd swoop up my Q-tip. I'd wet my Q-tip just a little bit, and like I'm doing here, just kind of dabbing along that edge till my little mistake disappears. All right. So we're going to continue on here. I'm going to switch back in a moment. So I'm just going to quietly paint this little red stripe in. And it's red. If you wanted everything to be pink, or you want to change it to blue, you could very easily do that. And once again, the reference image is just that. You can refer to it and take your artistic license and go right on ahead and do your own thing. All right. I'm going to see if I can move this along a little bit faster. Now see, right inside of that heart. I have a little paint. Okay, I just wanted to finish up this area right here and try to get into all these little nooks and crannies on the canvas. All right, so let me go in, even with the tip of my brush. Okay, I'm going in here with a little water and just kind of like a little mop, just mopping that on up out of there. Okay, it wasn't too bad, but we were able to remove that. So let's go right on up here while we have this medium-sized brush. This is a 1/4 inch flat. And it can do some great work where you would usually grab a round, the brushes that come to a point. Sometimes that flat, straight edge kind of goes around things quickly too. All right, but I see now that I will need to get a smaller brush. Oh, now that paint is starting to creep up. You want to keep your paint. Now, where am I? You want to keep that paint near the bottom half of your brush. Because when it starts creeping up towards that metal, you can get out of control pretty quickly. All right. So we're just dabbing up in here real fast because I have a lot of paint in this area. Okay. And in this little teeny tiny area right there. Hold on one hot second. All right. You know, when you think you hear something, sometimes you might have to, stop everything and just go check that out. I think it's all good. All right. Now we're just painting right on along here. And I'm just going to use just the very end of the brush. I have a lot of paint still on my bristles here. So, like I said, if you have too much, sometimes things can get out of control very quickly. So you really want to be in control of that paint. All right, I think we're pretty good up over here in this first stripe. And as it dries, then you can kind of see where you might need to touch up a few things. Okay, because the canvas is porous and has a lot of texture, and you think that you've covered everything, but the reflection of the wet paint can be deceptive a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna treat this brush right here like a colored pencil, and we're just gonna wiggle this paint. I have quite a bit of paint, but I'm still keeping it near the bottom third. It's creeping up, and anytime I feel like I'm about to lose control with it, then I will go down and wipe off some of that paint. Okay. All right. And I'm so sorry if you're making a comment. I do have my comments up, but I don't see anything coming through there. And when I become a little more fancy, I will have a third device just for that reason. And we're almost there. I just have to figure out how to, I'm an Android girl. I've got an iPhone, but I don't quite know how to maneuver all of it. All right, so we're getting on down here. Let me flip out so you can see. We're making headway. This painting is so cute, so quick, so fast. I absolutely love it. So I may give you some of your time back. But I know sometimes if you're a beginner, you do paint a little slower. So what might take me a half an hour will probably take you, an hour, maybe a little bit longer. So we're knocking these right on out because we're not trying to be so cutesy, so precious in these little stripes here. Okay. You know what? Since I have a little bit on my brush, I think I'm just going to go ahead and give these a second coat. All right. Now I just went out of the line on that. Okay, so we'll try to catch up with that. Let's see, while I have it on my brush right here, I'm going to go right down in this little area. Okay, we're good over there. I think we're good with the red, except down here on the heart, and we can move this along very quickly because it's a big open area. I'm just going to get rid of that. I'm going to go back to my 1/4 inch, and I'm just going to go right around. And I have quite a bit of paint on here, and I think I'm going to do a double coat. Now, I probably should have painted this part first. Note to self, anything that you think that you might want to do 2 coats on, try to do that first so that it can dry. and it'll be ready to accept that second coat. So we're keeping this kind of thin. Think about nail polish. You want to do that first coat kind of thin, not gloppy, because it takes it longer to dry. All right, just trying to make sure all of these little nooks and crannies are filled in. Okay, so that's cool right there. Awesome. Oop, I'm getting outside of the line over here. All right, so that's that first coat, and I think we're good. All right, so we're moving along. That little nose is just crying out to me. I'm going to get rid of this red. And as you see, my water is still pretty clear because I'm just trying to stain the napkin. So after it's pretty much done, then I go in there and really swish it along the bottom to make sure the pigment is out. Now red is pretty strong, the white is pretty strong, the black is pretty strong. So now I think I'm gonna save that little nose till last, okay? So I'm gonna mix up a little bit of that gray. Let's flip back here so you can see the reference. Well, let's try that one more time. Nope, that's what I just did. All right, so you can see the reference there. All right, so this is pretty kind of light gray, and then this is a darker gray. So let's mix up some of that darker gray, and then we'll try to go back and forth a little bit on the light gray and the dark gray. All right, let me check our time. We're going along here pretty well. Yeah, I think today I'll be able to give you back some of your time, because this is just a quick, fun painting. Let me go in here while we're waiting. I'm going to cover up my little line right there. Okay. All right, let's make sure we're going in all the directions. Okay, so let's mix up a little bit of white with a little bit of black. Okay. And I probably could do a little bit of blue. Let's get a little bit more white. Okay. Because this part is kind of like a little blue-gray. Now I'm going a little bit too dark there. So we're going to lighten this up a lot. I'm just kind of doing just a little bit of watercolor. Now I should probably have a little medium out here. I'm going to add a little bit of white to this to lighten it, but I'm just going to go right on along here. While there's plenty of water on the brush, and just spread out this gray here. Now the beard, of course, is a lot lighter. All right, I think we are good. Okay, I'm gonna go on up here. Let me get just a smidge more water. Okay. I probably could add just a smush of blue. All right. Uh-oh, stay in your lines now. All right. So we are moving this part along pretty quickly. Let me grab just a little bit more water. And now I may have to switch brushes again. You want to use the largest brush that you can in a certain area so that you don't get too finicky with that. But this next section up there, I might need to switch it out after this one here. And I probably should be doing a little bit of shading, but I think I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead with this. Now that might be a little bit too much. Let me stand up so I can see. Make sure. And then I'm going to come back with some white. Okay. All right. We're coming right back up in here with a little bit of white. And I'm just going in here with the white to mix in with the gray that I already have here, just to smooth the areas out. Okay. And to make sure those little nooks and crannies are filled in. All right. So I think that's going along pretty good. Let's go ahead and just get a few little highlights up in here. Everything is still kind of wet, so the blending should be okay. All right, so this is moving along pretty fast. All right, there we go. I think that, we don't need to fuss with that too much. I'm going to add a little bit more of the grays down over here. Let me get a little bit darker right along here. Okay. Make sure this part up underneath the nose is definitely. All right. Okay, so that's coming along there very nicely. See, we're not going to mess around with this too much. We're just going to have us let me see if I can fix this part. All right, now we're going to go here and work on we want to try to make sure we leave a little bit of shadow up underneath there. Let's switch out and let's see what you're okay. All right. So now I just want to go ahead and mix up a little bit of orange. Let's see, can you see me over here and see my mess? So I'm gonna get 3 parts. 1, 2, 3. Let me get just a little smidge more. 3 parts yellow to 1 part red. Okay. Probably need just a smidge more. And then I am going to add a little black to that. And most of the time you probably won't want to mix right on the canvas. But we're going to go for it. A little bit more. And I'm going to add a little bit more red too. Now, depending on if you're caramel, chocolate, dark chocolate, peanut butter, peachy. All right. And I probably need 2 coats of this. Okay. That's the skin color you want. I probably need to do 2 coats, but I think we're okay. Let me get just a little bit more dark right around here to add to the shadow. Okay. And I'm just going back and forth so many times just to make sure it's going into the grooves of the canvas. All right, so here we go. Let me see if I have a little bit more dark right here. Let me add a little bit right where that hat touches. Just a little bit of shadow. Okay. Let me go on back up over here, get a little bit more dark back over here as well. Get some of this black. Now this is the part where when you start adding a few of those details, things really start to come to light. All right, so let me put up our reference. I'm going to get just a little white to highlight that nose a little bit. And that's coming along pretty good, pretty fast. Okay. So now I probably could go back in here with a little bit more of this gray down here. Okay. And we don't have a lot of white on here, but we're about to get some of this going. And I think that will definitely help pop out that red. Okay, so let me switch back out so you can see how that's kind of coming together. Let me get a little bit more white. Right. And now it's time for that second coat of the red. Okay. If you'd like. And I still have not put the highlight on the nose. So let me go over here and handle this highlight real fast. Boop. Let me make sure I got a little bit of water here. because the paint is sitting and it's kind of getting a little bit goopy. All right, let's put it right here. Okay. Right, and then I'll come back and I'll pop it a little bit more. So let me get a little bit more white on here. And then we'll start messing around in the background. But for the most part, we are pretty much done. Oh, I don't have enough white. A little bit too much water, but I'm trying to get a really good consistency. All right. Let's pop this right here. Boop. All right. We'll do a little bit up here. Don't need too much. And see, we got a little bit going on here, a little bit up here. And sometimes these extra little lines just add a little bit of visual fun, visual interest. All right, so we'll pop that up there. Now you don't have to do it, but it just adds a little bit more texture. Make sure I got enough white. There we go. I think we're good. And I'm going to just add just a little bit here. Let me go back and get a little bit more. Let me add a little more water just to loosen it up a little bit. All right, I like the little dots that are there. And I think I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to cover this up right here. And I'm going to get a little bit more red and come on down here. Let me get a little bit more. Kind of curve this part out right here. All right. There we go. All right, it's coming along pretty good. So we're going to throw a few little bit of texture in the background. If you want to say, add a little bit of, let me see. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. We'll get a little bit more. I like that. All right. So going back and forth, add a little bit of texture. And I may still go in here and add a little bit of white as well. Just going back and forth with that brush. I don't want to overdo it too much, but I'm from team to do too much. All right, I think I need to make that one a little bit more pronounced. How cute is that? All right. So I think now I may go in with a little bit of white. Look at that nose. That nose is delicious. Okay, I think we're wrapping it up, man. I think this is looking pretty good. I might go back with just a little bit of black. Let me get a little bit of black here. Just a little bit to highlight a few little areas here. Okay. Not too many. Want to go back up underneath here. Right. Want to make sure I definitely go right here. That'll pop things out. Okay. Right. Ooh, this is feeling a little bit finished. I wonder how you're moving along on yours. Okay, this is feeling a little bit finished. I'm going to come down here. I need to press this out. Need to come down here just a little bit right here, kind of tassely. Okay. And I'm just going to swoop up underneath here really quickly. Not doing too much. Okay. All right. Now I may do another coat of red down there, but I'm happy. Okay. Try not to do too much black. Now I have too much water in it now, so let me thin that down just a little bit. And then we're just going to come in here just a little on the sides. Nope, that's too much gray. Let me get a little bit more black. Okay. And then I think we're just about done. We're going to wrap this up. Okay. Don't need too much. The black doesn't need to take over here. All right. I still want something more right here. We're going to leave that alone. Just needed to get rid of a little bit. All right, y'all. All right. I think that's coming along pretty good. Let me clean this up here. See what that detail is looking. I think we're good. The only thing I might go back in now is because I'm team do too much, need a few more little white hearts. Let me clean that out. And I think what I said, I was going to do another coat of that red down here too, just to cover up my little line. Okay. And then that gives a nice richness. Because sometimes you need that second coat. And I know a lot of times during a paint party, people are just glad to see the paint on the canvas. But I let them know they'll be happier if they just go ahead while the paint is out here, you know, go ahead and give that second coat. All right. Yep. I think that is what that needed right there. Now, I probably should start auctioning these off or whatever, because, they pile up. I don't need them. I don't need to keep them once, they've been photographed, you know. But it's nice to take them to a paint party and, people can see the finished product that, oh, there are a bunch of brush strokes. Oh, that looks like a mistake, but it works. Okay, so now I'm going to get just a little bit of water and just a little bit more of this white paint. And we're going to add our little, you probably won't even be able to see that too much. You know what? Because I have the wrong brush. Let me go get this round back, and then that just made just the perfect. Yeah, I can't see what I'm doing anymore. So let me stand up here. You know what? We need some more white. I just didn't want it to be too bright. Back up over here. Just want just a few more. Along with the red, I just want a little bit more. Just a smidge of this red right here. And I think we're going to wrap this up. So if you painted along with me, I want you to shoot me a picture of whatever you painted. Because I know sometimes, we just want to hang out, while somebody else is creating. Sometimes I love to watch cooking shows. That does not mean I am cooking along with you. That means I'm just checking out what you got going on, how you put stuff together. And get some ideas. Let me go back in here and put a little white right here. All right. Now, when this all dries, I think I want to put a little bit of glitter on there. And let me put my brushes up in here and then show you the reference as soon as I find it. Okay. So that is our reference. Let me see if I can bring this up a little bit bigger. Okay. How much fun is that? This would be great for mommy and me, daddy and me, granny and me, auntie, big cousin. That's a lot of fun. Let me see if I can go on back here. Let me remove that. And let me join you again here. Hi. Hello there. This is Brene Flournoy, about ready to sign off here. But how cute. Try to get the lighting right. How cute is that? How much fun. And Susan, thank you for this lovely design. How fun is that? Let me see if I can get up in there. So you can see I got lots of little brush strokes. It's kind of sketchy, but just fun. I'm trying to get the light right, you guys. I think that's better. All right. I think that is better. Let me get my YouTube thumbnail together. Now this is wet down here, isn't it? Just a little bit. Ah, it is. Let me get the painted pose. Thank you so much for joining. Hey, how are you? Thank you so much for popping in as I'm getting ready to pop out because it went pretty fast. It's a simple, fun, and I'm so sorry. It's a simple, fun painting. and make sure that's there. Simple, fun painting that's seasonal, right? It is Valentine's Day. Today, I guess, is the official Galentine's Day. So I don't know if you're celebrating that with some of the people that you absolutely love. So enjoy, enjoy. Now, Valentine's Day is one day out of the year, as you already know, but enjoy every day, right? Renee Frenoy, art teacher by day, portrait painter by night, paint party instructor, art kit maker. If you are local and you need a quick, fast art kit, now you're gonna have to wait till I get off of work tomorrow, unless you're about to put one order in. Now you can go to the website, thepaintedpost.com, and hit me in my contact us and let me know what you'd like. But you know what? It's pretty much a wrap at this particular point. I am going to be painting. This is still a little bit wet, so I'm trying to be a little bit careful with that. This is what I painted earlier this week with one of my paint party buddies, Ranita Nance, and it was so much fun. She may still have those available if you find one of the posts here. Now, this is coming up. Mardi Gras is coming up. This is the printout. You can definitely get your crayons, colored pencils, and watercolors on just the paper. Now, this is Dollar Tree. Dollar Trees are not too bad, but you know, if you want to up your game a little bit, you know, see what else is out there. But until the next time, if you're not on my email list, make sure you're on there. I did shoot my email list an extra coupon. I put a $4 off coupon for the general public, and for my email list, I gave a $6 off coupon. So thank you for those of you that have joined me. Peace to you. Have an amazing rest of your day. And yeah, we're signing on. Let me hit the right button now. You know I'm over here doing team too much. Peace to you. All right. Till the next time. Thanks for joining. Join the email list. Some more goodies are coming out soon. Bye-bye.